All right, so the idea that I'm going to talk about in this video is probably the most important idea when it comes to theory and like theoretic stuff that you could learn. So honestly, like if you were like, I don't want to learn theory at all. I have no interest in learning the music language. I have no interest in learning scales and chords and like how all the notes go together and the musical alphabet and all that. Like if you just learned this concept, it would benefit you so much with playing riffs, and it's going to benefit you so much when trying to write your own stuff because you're going to be able to say, hey, I want to know where this note is on this string, and you're going to be able to just go straight there. Maybe I want to know where it is on maybe this note. I want to know where this note is on this string down here. You're going to be able to go straight to it without having to like go up and like count down from either like the 12th fret or the first fret and try to figure out those notes. You're going to be able to just navigate the fretboard pretty much in an instant. And I'm going to talk about this stuff assuming that you guys don't know theory and don't know theoretic terms. So if you do understand theory and I say 5/2 steps away and you're like, no, that's a perfect fourth, what are you talking about? I'm not using those terms here. You can translate them and think of them however you want, but the way that I'm going to explain in this video, I'm going to explain it to somebody that I just assume does not know anything about music theory. And I'm also going to explain this in drop tuning. So it's going to be a little bit different and standard. I will kind of compensate and I will explain how to adjust for standard tuning, but personally, like I play mostly in drop tuning. Most of the metal bands that I listen to, and I think probably a majority of metal that's written today is written in drop tuning. I know there's still a lot of great metal music from the past, and even more modern music that's in standard tuning. So if you like standard tuning and that's the tuning that you play in more often, that's totally fine. I'm not telling you to change your tuning up or anything. I'm gonna talk more of in drop tuning because I think more of us these days are going to be playing in drop tuning, so it's going to benefit you more, but you can always do those adjustments and figure that out for yourself in standard. And the only difference is going to be when we're talking about anything between this 6th string and then basically anything off of this 6th string is where the difference is going to be. So the first idea that I want to explain is that there's only 12 notes in the musical alphabet. So basically what that means is no matter what tuning you're in, if you play these open strings, it's going to be the same exact notes as on this 12th fret here. It's just an octave apart. So it doesn't matter what tuning you're in. You always know that the fretboard basically starts over at 12th fret. So this, generally, most people are going to have a dot on the 1st, 5th, 7th, 9th, and then the double dot on the 12th. So this single dot here, way up here on the fretboard, is the same exact as this one dot here. The second dot is the same as the second dot here. Third dot's the same as the third dot here. Fourth dot, it's all the same. So that, if you're trying to figure out an octave away from this, from the 3rd fret right here, that if you just go to this first dot after that 12th fret, that's going to be the same exact note right there. So that's the first idea that I want to talk about. The second idea is that when we're in drop tuning, everything that you do on this string, no matter what note you're playing on this string, it's going to mirror to this 4th string. Same exact note. So in standard, that's different in the sense that it's the 1st E and the 6th E are the same and mirrored, but in drop tuning, it's the 4th and the 6th string. And I'm in drop D tuning right now, just so you guys know. I didn't add any actual tone and like guitar recording to this because this is kind of more of a visual thing. So besides the acoustic Gibson, which actually Gibson Les Paul sound pretty good acoustically, I think, you're not going to hear any sound, but that's okay. So the next concept that I want to talk about is if you go, so when I say down, I'm going to mean down in direction, not down in pitch. So, you might think, a lot of people are going to think that I'm explaining this wrong because I'm saying down when I'm talking about going down like this, when down in pitch is actually this way, but to make it less confusing for a lot of you, I'm going to say down in direction here. So if I'm on the A string on the 5th fret and I go down 2 strings and over 2 frets, that's the exact same note. So once you get past this G string, the 3rd string here, you have to jump over 1 fret. So if we're going between like the 4th string and the 2nd string, it's actually going to be 3 frets apart. And then same with the 1st and 3rd string. You're going to want to go 3 frets apart, but between the 5th and the 3rd string, 2 frets apart. And that's the same exact note right there. So off of this 6th string here, the low string, the drop tune string, is drop D right now, the D string. If I pick a note, so if I'm on the 7th fret here and I jump back 6 frets and down 3 strings, is that 6? That is the same note. So 6 frets back and then 3 strings down, same note. And now if we jump down between any of the other strings, so if I jump down onto the 5th string and I go between the 5th and the 2nd string, it's going to be 2 frets back. 2 frets back and 3 strings down are the same note. So between the drop tuned string, it's 6 frets over. Wait, that's the right string. Okay, I thought I had the wrong string there. Same note. Same note. Jump down 1 more string between the 1st and the 4th string. Again, it's just 2 frets back, 4 strings down, 3 strings down, excuse me. Same exact note. So the last idea that I'm going to talk about is just between like the 2 strings that are stacked up on top of each other. So there's going to be 3 different examples that I got to explain to you right now. So we're going to start with between the 6th and the 5th string. So the D and the A string right now, the 6th D and the 5th A. So if I'm on the 7th fret, I jump 7 frets back, which would be the open A string, and I'm talking 7 frets back and 1 string down. Then that would be the same note. And if I jump 5 frets up to the 12th fret, from the 7th to the 12th fret, and then 1 string down, that's the same note. So I have the same note here, here, and here. So if we jump down to the 5th string, and we're going between the 5th and the 4th string, that ratio switches, so it's 5 frets back. So if I'm on the 5th fret and the open 4D string, that's the same note. And then if I go from the 7 frets up to the 12th fret, that's the same note. So same note here, same note here, same note here. And between the 3rd and 4th string, that's the same situation. And then between the 1st and 2nd string, same thing. It's 5 frets back, 7 frets up, same exact note. But between the 3rd and 2nd string, like I said, it's 1 fret different. When we were talking about the last situation there, it's 1 fret different. So in this situation, we're going to have to jump back 1 fret. So if we go 4 frets back, so if we're on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, that's the same as the open B string, that 2nd string. So 4 frets back, 8 frets up, same note. So now with all of those ideas that we had just talked about, you can pretty much, just try to remember those, or, write those down, whatever you need to do to remember them, and then keep coming back to them. Like maybe practice those ideas, a couple minutes a day when you first pick up the guitar. Like try to go find the same notes. Just go and pick some notes and try to find where the same exact notes are by using all of these different ways to figure that out. And eventually it's just going to come naturally to you, and then you're not going to have to try to remember it anymore, and you'll be able to just navigate the fretboard. So if you wanted to find, an A note and you needed to find it on this string, you know that the A note's there and there and there and there. And then, if we go back 5 frets and then up 7, it's the same note. So just practice this stuff, because I think this is really going to come in handy when it comes to specifically writing your own riffs, but just navigating the fretboard in general. It's going to make the fretboard seem so much smaller. Just that idea of that there's two fretboards, you know, that it ends at the 12th fret, that makes the fretboard basically, it cuts it in half. It makes it half as big as it seemed like before you understood that. So if you didn't know that before, you probably realize that that makes your fretboard just so much smaller just from that one idea. Anyways, I hope that this was not confusing for you. I hope that this helped you out as much as it's helped me out with my guitar playing. And if you guys are trying to get good at this style of like a riffing style guitar, and you're struggling on what to practice, you don't know what to practice, you don't know what it is that you should focus on, you don't know what you should learn, you know, you get some people saying you need to learn scales, some people say you just need to learn songs. I finished my 6-week course, and it is completely done now, and it's available for anybody who wants it. At this moment in time, I actually am offering a discounted price of a third of what I'm going to sell it for originally on my site. So I don't know if that's the case right now, but the link is below. You can check that out if you're interested. You're really passionate about playing guitar and getting good at this style of guitar. Check that out. I guarantee you this information is going to benefit you. This entire course is going to benefit you. So if you're interested in that, check it out. The link's below.